It's in the drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. When I'm on the field, no, I got mask. You know we about to eat this a fast meal. I got to pay for this heat like a gas bill. Keep on coming back, so yeah, they nasty. So I want to make them pay some bad bills. White and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the field. John shot at catching all the shots you go for. We call it blitz. Ready to slow, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the number one draft pick. Now they all talk, but I ain't heard it. Listen to Kish on the hands. It's about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got skills. Buffalo don't make a kill. When we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got the skills. Buffalo don't make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth. I apologize right now because there's gonna be a lot of sodium on this drink. Where that salt shaker at? Let me go ahead and just put this bad boy right on my brim because there's gonna be mad salt in this joint today. I don't even care if the salt shaker break. I'm pissed. I'm highly pissed. Oh, like you wouldn't believe, man. Look. We did a lot of good things. There's a lot of things I really like about what we did, but to be truthful, I'm not happy with some of the moves that I saw players move and some of the moves that I didn't see the Bills make. But nevertheless, before I go ahead and break this thing on top of my head right now, let me go ahead and let this chill on the desk. Look, we got a little bit of a new setup. So we're working some things out. We apologize if there's any technical difficulties, but our producers got a new spot right in the booth behind us. You can see the peace sign right there. So, we making some things work, right? But here's the deal. First and foremost, I'm your co-host, Aramis.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay. I like how you said that. You didn't say all two of those things, bro. There's 40 keys over here. I gotta remember which one.
Yeah, that's the hard part. So all right, let's start with this. I am very, very happy with the 3 extensions that we got out of Khalil Shakir, Terrell Bernard, and Greg Rousseau. I think the numbers for those players are amazing. They can't hear you? Oh. This might help. See? There we go.
I've been censored. I knew I didn't hear myself. I'm like, that's why I'm looking at. You saw me. I was like, is this thing on? It's not registering anything.
It's not registering on my side.
Now you can hear me.
Yeah.
That might be a detriment to you guys today. I don't know.
Maybe. All right, 40 keys in the house with y'all. He finally got some sound. So here's the deal. When it comes to the extensions, those are great. Though I did not expect the Bills to get those players for those numbers, right? So kudos to Brandon Beane for that. But now here's the bigger part of the frustration for me, which is it looked like the Buffalo Bills were making those moves in order to set up another bigger move or a series of B-level moves, right? And I know you were never a proponent of that strategy to begin with, but and I guess to be truthful, I kind of wasn't either.
Mm-hmm.
But once I saw the numbers they got these players for, I was like, man, could they really be doing something that is like unprecedented right now? You know what I'm saying? Like they see where they really are. They understand the value of these players. They've gotten great numbers. They've gotten these players at great numbers. Is this something coming? Is there something else coming down the pike?
Roy's gonna keep you good. Roy's gonna keep you good today.
Where the hell did my boxers in the window go? We got rid of them solely because you said something about them. That's
true. We did do that.
So I'll start with the DK Metcalf thing. And I as much as I understand that he's not, and based on things that I've heard, he's not the right fit for the locker room guy because he.
Can we stop there? Can we just stop there?
Why?
Because this team is going nowhere if we keep saying that. They're going to go. This team is going nowhere if we keep saying it. And I'm going to get to that later. I had that point on the docket, but I'm going to let you make your point. But I'm so tired of hearing about they're not a fit. If you got Josh Allen for what $250 million, you got $330 million on the books. You got Khalil Shakir, you got Greg Rousseau, you got Terrell Bernard, you got these guys that you already signed, right? When is the culture going to be spilling over to the talent? Because you get the guys that's got culture. Now you need to get the guys with the talent. because the culture guys are the ones that's gonna infuse the talent guys with some kind of team speak. You ain't gotta be just like the rest of the team, but I'm so tired of hearing this. That's an excuse. Not you made it, but that's an excuse that I'm hearing all over the place. They just weren't right for Rock. No. I can tell you straight up, they were never. Bean, I can tell you right now, he called for Myles Garrett. He called for DK, and what they heard the first time weeks ago, we ain't doing that. But they're not going to tell the Bills fans that,
right?
But that's what it is. And I mean, like you said earlier, it wasn't that I was not a proponent for it. It was just I knew it wasn't going to happen. That's really what it was. I knew it was not possible because we know how they think. Even when they want to change, they still think the same.
And that's fair. I think maybe I have a tendency to sometimes to see the Bills do something other than what I expected them to do, which are, just bad moves, from an obvious standpoint. But then when they start doing some things that look good, I expect them to keep going with it. And then when they don't, then I feel duped. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, man, you made me hope again, and now you're not doing the thing that I thought you was going to do. But to your point about the locker room stuff, when you say you need blue chippers, it didn't sound like they wanted blue chippers as long as they fit within the box of, the good cultural fit, because that's not what they said. That's definitely not what Brandon Beane said. Brandon Beane didn't get up there and say, well, we want to find blue chippers that, and we're not just going to find any blue chipper. We also need to make sure that these guys fit the culture of the locker room. They didn't say that.
Well, he said they had to be football players and character guys to a degree. And that's what got me. When he said character guys, I'm like, doing it again.
Right.
Doing it again. I mean, you don't have to go get AB after the hit. You don't have to go get but the same thing is, everybody's not that.
Okay.
And I hate to say it, but Buffalo fans will never go for guys that are less than the character guys, because you look at the guys we've had in the past, including, Marcel Darius, when they drug him, pun intended. When they had, who else would they have? Terrell Owens, he's a head case. And they had but these guys are winners, and maybe not here, but they're leaning towards, and this was, regimes in past, but they're leaning towards. But Bills fans, Michael Vick, no, I can't have him. He fought dogs. When you bring somebody in, Buffalo already is going to do a background check, and if the background don't, they gonna hate it. And like you always say, the Bills, they cater to the media, to the market. They cater to the, to try to make the fans buy into what they do. Now, if you go ahead and get some head cases Buffalo doesn't like and you still don't win, guess what? Your head's gonna be on a fork. That's what they think about.
Yeah. Well, okay. How much? And I don't know how much this is going to stick out for Deion Dawkins in a background check, but when you hanging out with Benny the Butcher and those boys and stuff like that, like it's not a savory environment. You know what I'm saying? You like that kind of stuff. To me, what I envision the culture in the Bills locker room to be is a bunch of savory good old boys. You know what I'm saying? Like guys who would never, bust a grape. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that they're soft. Like these are football players, right? But the idea of protecting the culture of the locker room, the identity that the culture has right now is you don't want anybody that could potentially have a report like Xavier Worthy had where he choked somebody out and then all of a sudden the charges got dropped.
Well, it wasn't all of a sudden. I have that too. I have information on that. Did you hear the news?
No.
Okay, so there are witnesses. The girl would not leave. They were not together. And he asked her to leave. He said, get out. You got to go. You got to go. And whatever happened from there, she kind of decided, I'm not going to, you have to put me out.
Okay.
So he put her out.
Okay.
And then she filed charges. You know how that goes. I mean, that's does it make it right? No.
Yeah, right.
No, it doesn't.
Obviously not. Right.
I mean, the thing is, when you talk about this kind of stuff, you're looking at, like you said, I'm glad you said Benny the Butcher, because I had a thought about that.
Okay.
Do you ever hear him say the Bills Mafia song is by the Black Soprano family? They say Benny the Butcher. That's Benny's song.
Oh, really?
Because they play it in the stadium. They're not gonna say Black Soprano family on that thing. They're not gonna do that. They don't tell you that Benny and them grew up in GYC. People don't know what GYC is.
Right.
And there's a reason for that.
Right.
Another marketing ploy. See, we know because we know.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Benny's like some kind of underlord. Well, he's straight. But the thing is, they spin it in a certain way. We're not putting Meek Mills on the thing. You know, people don't know Benny like they know Meek, and they don't know what Benny's done versus what Meek has done.
Exactly. Like, to be clear, like the stuff Benny raps about, like
right.
he really lived it.
Right.
You know, he really did that.
Mm-hmm.
You know
and they don't play that stuff. They just play. They put the music real loud. You don't hear the words, and it gets you pumped up. But we know.
Right.
You know, so that's the thing, and it's all a ploy.
But that's kind of my point, is that like they're taking so much time to propagate and protect this quote unquote culture, but you got guys that are doing questionable things all over the place, and the only difference is it doesn't get talked about in the news. So why not just leave culture out of it and have, like, okay, prime example, and I guess this is really where I'm getting to, right? When you look at the Chiefs,
mm-hmm.
and you look at the way that the Chiefs have operated, they talk about culture just as much as the Buffalo Bills do,
mm-hmm.
right? So what's the difference? The difference is they have a culture that wins championships, and the Buffalo Bills have a culture that wins AFC East championships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's no disrespect on what we've accomplished, but there is a big difference between winning NFL championships and winning AFC East championships. And so when you look at a player like Xavier Worthy getting into the trouble that he got into, and you even mentioned this when I texted you about it, okay, well, Von Miller's situation was just about the same thing. And the Buffalo Bills didn't come out with any kind of press release in support of Von Miller. You know, from what I understand, the Chiefs didn't really do anything to that degree either, but it was gone. It was dealt with like literally minutes later.
Yeah, we'll smash real quick. But the only thing I think about with that is regards to where the location was. In
mm-hmm.
Texas, anytime you get a call, it's automatic. They can't drop it, and it is what it is. That's why Von got what he got.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
You know, in Kansas City, obviously not, or Missouri, obviously not. So, you know, like I said, you can't have a settlement. Nobody's going to settle in a day. It was the same day. It was not happening. So I knew immediately, based on what I know, that something crazy happened with the female in question, or male, but in this case, it was a female.
Yeah. So I guess to kind of bring the point home, so we can move on to the free agency stuff, because I don't want to bang on the Bills culture all day long. But I think what that really comes down to for me, and the situation that creates is a situation where you have to choose between the DK Metcalfs of the world and the Josh Palmers of the world.
Yeah, somebody said Josh Palmer, 3 years, $36 million, a good deal or not. And somebody else had a mini conniption about Josh Palmer. It's somewhere else on the screen. But
so Josh Palmer, I was actually just talking to Tommy about this. You know, a good outside receiver, right? Much better route runner than Gabe Davis ever was, but about the same guy, basically. Just a much better Gabe Davis. Same speed, just about the same size. You know, but for what I saw Josh Palmer do in LA last year and what he did the year before when he had better players around him, I think he could be a very effective number 2. And even the thought of that is kind of troubling because of what that says about Keon Coleman, right?
Well, okay, go ahead, make your point.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
You're good. So when you look at the prospects of Josh Palmer coming in and being technically a number 2 receiver,
mm-hmm.
right? Because they gave Shakir the money, and for what the Bills typically do, Shakir is going to be the number 1 target. Right, they want to attack the seam. They want to get that open stuff over the middle and underneath, to matriculate the ball down the field, and that's cool, right? What Palmer gives you is that burst outside where you got a guy that can win one-on-one matchups against man coverage, right? Keon Coleman is not that, but what that does is if you are not able to get a true number 1 receiver in the draft that can come in and win those outside matchups one-on-one and beat man coverage and things like that, you've got a guy in Josh Palmer who can be serviceable with Josh Allen, right? Because that's the other part of this. When you look at Josh Palmer's numbers last year in LA, they weren't that great. But when you take into context that their other receivers were Lad McConkey, who was hurt half the year, and then Quentin Johnston, who's a first-round bust. Looking at what Josh Palmer did in that offense, which was a run-heavy offense to begin with, and then, becoming the impact player that he was for that offense, it does say a lot about what he's able to do on the field. So you put him in a much better a position where he's around a Khalil Shakir that's going to get attention. He's around Kincaid that's going to get attention. And, I mean, truth be told, people are going to expect Keon Coleman to be what he was last year, which – it's not expecting a lot, but you still have to respect what he did, right? So I guess what I'm trying to get to is Josh Palmer is nice, but he's not DK Metcalf, right? If I'm looking at the difference between a Josh Palmer and a DK Metcalf, I might as well be talking about the difference between an NFL championship and an AFC East championship. And that sounds pretty harsh to say when we just got the dude and he could come here and put up some really good numbers. Everybody usually does with Josh Allen. But this was not the first move that I would have made. This is not the first guy that I would have gone after. And for as much as you were perfectly fine with not getting DK Metcalf here for 5 years and $150 million, I think that 5 years and $150 million would have been way better served here with Josh than for Metcalf to be in Pittsburgh with Russell Wilson.
Okay, I got two things to say about what you said, and it's a good point. But to you, Josh Palmer's a number 2, but to the Bills, he's probably a number 1.
You're not making me feel better about this.
No,
bro.
I mean, you got to look at history. They just drafted Keon Coleman. They talked about how much he has to work his way. Somebody asked about Matt Collins, probably won't happen. And the second thing that I want to address in regards to Palmer, he lives between 0 and 19 yards. That's his scope. He doesn't really do anything between the sticks, the line of scrimmage, and 10. And I mean, he really doesn't do much from 20 on out. I think he had 3 or 4 catches from that distance. The DK Metcalf point, they were in on it. I can guarantee you they were in on it, but they know they can't afford it, so they just dropped it real fast. And this goes back to what I've been saying since we started the show. The salary cap is real, and now you guys are seeing the chickens come to roost. This is what it is. And in order to not replay history, we need to stop asking for Khalil Mack, which I'm glad went back to LA. We need to stop asking for these people that are over the hill. We need to start figuring out how to draft. We need to hold these guys accountable for drafting. Not so much failed free agent attempts. I mean, I get it. DK Metcalf for a trade would have been nice, but now we're looking at Trey Hendrickson, which is cool, but he's 30 and he's gonna want what, 38 million, 35 mil on an extension. How is that gonna look? So what are we looking at, in the long term? Can we not get somebody in the next 2 or 3 years that can be our, Jerry Hughes on roids, if you will? Somebody give you 12, 13 seconds. Because I'll take that. Because what it is I don't know if Kevin's in here yet, but Kevin said, okay, Roy, you asked. Anyway. I don't know if Kevin's in here yet, but Kevin said something about it's not the players, it's a scheme. Now that goes on defense, and that's what he was talking about. You don't have to have just one elite player if you can scheme something up to be exotic. Truly exotic.
Okay. But again, and I think thank you for saying truly exotic, because that does bring forth the point that I was about to get to as soon as you said that, which is how much is Joe Brady going to be allowed to be exotic with the things that he dials up? Based on what Sean has shown that he wanted in this offense, efficiency is the name of the game. And when you're talking about exotic looks and stuff like that, all of that stuff is not high efficiency unless you're Andy Reid and you've been scheming that kind of stuff up for years. So I respect the point of, you can take the lower tier guys and put them around a great quarterback like Josh Allen and still make some moves. That's what we did last year. But I think we saw, first of all, offensively, the Bills should have been able to score more points against the Chiefs defense.
I was really talking about defense when I made that point, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Offensively, I mean, okay. They're talking about, I heard a lot of people say, they ran down a list of the free agents, Ty Johnson. Yes or no? Yes. Who else we have? Who else was a free agent? Matt Collins. Yes or no? Yes. Amari Cooper, yes or no? Yes. See, when you keep saying yes to all these people you already had that didn't win, you just running it back again. Like, okay, I get it. You're afraid of falling from where you were last time. But if we didn't get the championship, I'm willing to try. I'm willing to try it. And that's my thing. If you could go through the list and say the roster wasn't good enough, but then when you get a chance to make it better, or you get a chance to change it, to maybe give Brady something different or give Babbitt something different, and you want to go with the same people again, that's insanity.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So then, first things first. I'm sorry. I apologize. Whitetown's King in the house.
Dang, that's loud. Okay,
it's very loud. I'm gonna find a way to turn that down. I promise.
Good.
How about? Yeah. Let me see.
There it is. He got it twice.
That's much better. All right. Whitetown's King says slowest wide receiver core in the league. Yeah. I mean, look, the Bills have never been about speed. And when I say they've never been about speed, of course, everybody respects speed, but the Bills feel more comfortable with football players than they do with highly talented guys. They prefer guys who are playing more with skill and technique and focus and concentration and all these things that have nothing to do with speed, rather than to have a guy with speed who's not technically sound, right? But my contention to that is, how do you explain Xavier Worthy's college career? How do you explain guys like Jamar Chase who have speed and are technically sound? How do you explain the Tyreek Hills of the world? I mean, these are guys that have speed that can come in and they're all number one receivers, right? So there's I guess the problem that I have with my team's approach is it's not infallible, and I don't need it to be completely bulletproof, but there can't be so many holes in their mindset that you can't imagine it ever holding water.
Right.
And to me, that's the issue that I have with what this team has been doing for the last 9 years. Is you've taken this approach of, we know what we're doing, we're going to be good, we're going to be consistent. The only thing that you've held steady on and that you've actually done is you've been consistent winning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, what I would say to that is, Josh Allen is the reason why. That's why I put that in the thumbnail. That's why I made the title what it is. Why the Bills don't need talent? Why? Because you got Josh Allen.
And you know what? I'm going to say.
What's that?
It's just not good enough. I mean,
no,
the thing is, when people say, "See,
get him,"
when people say,
"Wait, you want this?"
Nah, no salt. This is a learning moment. When people say we're good as long as we have Josh Allen, the Bills are listening. They hear you.
Yep.
Loud and clear. That means I can give you Josh Palmer. Oh yeah, Wyatt Towns. They're not slow. Josh Palmer's a 4 or 5 too. That's blazing for them. That I don't think they know. They would have cut him. They would cut him on the spot.
Yep.
But the thing is, if you look at what they're doing with the roster construct, is they talk out of both sides of their mouth. I want to get. I like speed. I got to have speed. Then why is it Andrew Reid gets Xavier Worthy? He trades up for Xavier Worthy.
Yep.
So that tells you. Maybe there's something I don't know that I need to know. When people are trading up for or are going crazy for Tyreek Hill at 5'9", 5'10", 200 pounds, and that's not imposing. He's 5'10". He's 5. What is he? 190 pounds, 200 pounds, maybe.
Yeah.
But everybody wants him, even at 30, 31 years old, because he runs. I wonder why. If you watch his route concepts under Mike McDaniels, you'll know. Could you see a world where Josh could work with that? Josh is now throwing to the flats. Guess who catches balls in the flat?
Yep. And
guess who's good at it? We got to find somebody like that. And until we do that, we're going to be doing the same thing, all this over and over and over again.
Right. That to me is, so here's, I was having this conversation with Damaris earlier, Buffalo Bills alum Damaris Johnson. We got on this point of Josh Allen because I talked about my frustration with DK Metcalf and we went through all that and stuff. And in talking about, Josh Palmer and some of these other players that were available, I mean, he would just throw this at me after everything I said, but we have Josh Allen. And I was talking to Tommy about this before the show. what it really comes down to for Brandon Beane and even Sean McDermott is there is nothing that they can't do or can do that isn't easily answered by Josh Allen. Think about all of the arguments and complaints that we could possibly make about Brandon Beane right now. He can't draft. Josh Allen. End of story.
If that's in the story, I don't know what to say to you.
Well, right.
I don't know what to say because that was 7 years ago now.
Hey, Josh Allen.
That doesn't do nothing for me.
But we got Josh Allen.
Okay.
We would not be where we are today if it wasn't for Josh Allen, right?
I mean, okay, how can I answer? Right. I'll just leave it at that. Because I have something to say about that. I'll leave it at that.
Of course.
Where we are today is a team that can't get to the Super Bowl. Where we are today is a team that almost doesn't get out of the divisional round.
Right.
So, wow, you got us to Josh Allen. And any other market besides here right now, you'd be gone.
Okay.
And, I mean, maybe the quarterback too. But the thing is, I need that bowl. Right. I need that W, baby.
But please never do that again. Like, I can hear it all in my ears now.
I know. Succulents. Succulent succotash.
anyways, to me that's just like for as much as we desire more and we expect more and we hope for more and all that kind of stuff, that's kind of the point that we need to kind of understand collectively is that this team, when they think about Josh Allen, he is the answer for everything. Why do you go out and get a Josh Palmer instead of a DK Metcalf? Because we got Josh Allen. Why do you not think you have to go out and grab a Myles Garrett and make sure you tell him in whatever way you need to, I don't care what the Browns will give you, we'll beat it. Just get out of that deal because we got Josh Allen. Why do you look at, guys like Max Crosby, or why do you look at, all of the other guys that got signed today?
Let me ask you this, though. This is the question I want to ask.
Okay.
Why don't we have those people? Any of them?
Because we have Josh Allen. We don't need him.
No, because we have Beane and McDermott who give Von Miller $120 million because we hemorrhage money to people that don't need that money.
Because their mindset is we have Josh Allen.
Well, their mindset is we don't know what the freak we're doing. We can massage these numbers.
But you can't say that.
Why not?
Because they have Josh Allen.
They got Josh Palmer too.
That's my point. It's like no matter what you say, we found Josh Allen. Well, you can't coach. Well, we're winning games. Why? Because we got Josh Allen.
And I would say you can stop saying the name because you got Josh Allen for almost 8 years and you still ain't won.
Look, it's gotten so deep into this belief that Josh Allen solves all the problems that who's starting to say it now? Who have we really heard all last season saying this all season long? It's been the fans. Right? The fans have been saying, what we got Josh. As long as we got Josh, we got a shot. Like that's been the mindset this whole time, which is baffling to me because it started with the belief that the Buffalo Bills had inside the building. Man, as long as we got Josh, we got a shot. Mm-hmm. Now we can really just, we can go make sure our locker room is good. We can make sure that we're very meticulous and very picky about who we let into our locker room because our culture is important. And Josh has got to be the head of that. But anything other than that, we got Josh Allen for.
You know what's funny about that? You said it correctly. You said it absolutely correctly because when Josh wasn't Josh, it was still we have Josh. Just wait, trust the process. But see, they started that with that trust the process because before Josh, there was the process. Nobody knew what the process was, but you need to trust it. And we trusted. Well, it was trusted. We'll say that.
Yeah.
I hated the process. I don't even know what it is to this day, and I still hate the process. But the thing is, now the process begets Josh Allen. The process and maybe that's why I have an issue with Josh. Not because I mean, it's never been Josh, but the thing is what he represents. He represents mediocrity, not him, but the team he's leading because of the push. Yeah. Like what is he? The 13th or 14th highest percentage of cap, I believe it is this new contract. But he's got the highest guaranteed money of all time. But
really?
The percentage wise, the way they broke his contract down, the percentage it's low.
Oh, wow.
So the point is, and somebody said this, what if Josh would have said, you know what, that ain't good enough. I want to be number one in everything. What would they have done? I want to be number one in everything. You got to sign them because if you don't, what Buffalo going to do to you? They're going to tear that stadium down.
Yeah.
They're going to tear Orchard Park. If you live there, you have no home.
Right.
Because it will not be on the map anymore.
Right.
Because you guys let him go out the building. But your process brought him here. Your process taught us to believe in him when he wasn't worth being believed in.
Right.
So now you bring in Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen takes this leap. You bring in more pieces because people want to be here, because now it's not Andre Holmes and Kelvin Fatboy. It's it's actual football players, but we need more.
Right.
You should always, is anything you do, you should always say, I need more. Anything. You think Kansas City fans, they're saying, I need more.
Yeah.
They had a parade, they got a nap. Now they're saying, I need more. Philly, after they won the first Super Bowl, what they say? Fire this bum.
Yep.
But then he won again. So now they're like, cool, but I still need more. But Buffalo don't need more. Buffalo just needs a fun environment.
Right.
And it kills me. It really does.
Tommy from Mafia Sports Report says there's an ongoing bidding war for cornerback Asante Samuel Jr., with the Bills being one of the involved teams.
They make a call on everything. And Roy, that's blasphemy. That is blasphemy. I think the set would go up in smoke if Aaron Mr. Key said anything good about me. I said plenty good.
Oh, yeah.
Not today.
All right. If you saw the last episode that we did, we were actually saying a lot of good stuff about Sean, and we were more so, hampering on Bean. But I think what we're getting to today is we've already given Bean and the team props for the extensions that they've given to the three guys that they gave it to, right? Mm-hmm. I think this whether or not they get this Asante Samuel Jr. deal done, I think it is very telling that the two guys that they left open are probably the two best of all the players that they extended this so far. I think Benford for his, for what he's been asked to do and what he's done for this team, and James Cook for what he's done for this team are the two best talents that we needed to get locked down, right? Mm-hmm. But and there's a lot of things that I could speculate with that, you know what I'm saying, in terms of what the team can do with their contracts, or they're probably the two most tradable commodities that we have right now in terms of outside team interest. But my point is, mm-hmm. when you look at where the Buffalo Bills are in terms of moves that have been made so far, right? You look at Chicago, they went and got an offensive line for their quarterback, mm-hmm. right? You look at what Green Bay's done. They went and got offensive line for their guy, right? And here we are looking at David Edwards and Connor McGovern like, oh, they're fine.
Oh, it's a battle. We got to have a battle between David Edwards and
no, not even that. Like, I guarantee those guys go into the season as the guys with no competition whatsoever.
Well, I can guarantee that too, because there's nobody in the draft. If they draft an offensive lineman, I am going to. No, I'm not going to threaten anybody on. I can't be held accountable for what I would do. I'll just say that.
But that's the thing. Like, they're famous for drafting. Like, regardless of who's in the 7th round, the last 3 rounds of the draft, they always get some kind of lineman. Always.
Well, I took a quarterback in one, so that's cool.
You took like 4 quarterbacks.
No. Okay. Sidebar. This is what happened. I don't know if you guys do mock drafts.
Explain it now.
No, I have to. I don't know if you guys try to do mock drafts. I put a defensive draft I was proud of. I was like, yo, this is it. They graded it. I got like a C-, the lowest grade I've ever gotten.
Wow.
I've never gotten a grade this low before. Now I'll put it out there so you guys can see. You can trash it, whatever you want to do. You got to go on our post sidebar as well. Let me know how you feel about the draft prospect breakdowns I've been doing. So I really do want you guys to know who we're talking about out there. So I'm trying to put these things together. Now I'm going back to the first sidebar. I was mad about my C-. So I said, screw this. Let me go in and see what happens if I draft the first person that's available in every round. So I didn't scroll through anything. I didn't think about nothing. Whoever was the top person on that list, I hit. Ended up being like, what, a cornerback, a lineman, like 4 quarterbacks and a wide receiver. And I got a B+. I said, the hell with this. I put it down. I just close everything out.
That's the same thing fantasy football does. Sorry, Roy. But yeah, it's the same. It's the same exact deal. I want to get to this comment. 2 comments real quick. Mm-hmm. The Spaghetti Steve, welcome to the show. Because you decided to chat and hop in with us, you part of the family now, so you stuck. There's no getting out. Yeah, everybody knows this. Just so you know, everybody knows this. So there is no getting out of the family.
Ask around.
All right. So Spaghetti Steve says everyone hates the Josh Palmer pickup, and I don't understand it. I actually don't hate it.
I don't hate it either.
I like the player. I think for what he did in LA and what he's going to bring here, he's definitely an outside receiver. That's the one thing that I love the most about the Josh Palmer pickup is he is definitively an outside guy that can win outside, and he's shown that he can do that when depended on. As a number 2 receiver in LA when Keenan Allen was still there, Tommy was telling me he put up like 800 something yards receiving that year, which would have been 2 years ago, the year before Keenan Allen went to the Bears last year.
Yeah, like 300 last year. So yeah,
right, yeah, right. Last year here's the thing, and this is what I was telling Tommy earlier. What you have to understand about his stats from last year is Ladd McConkey was hurt most of the season. Quentin Johnston was the other guy outside, and Josh Palmer was playing in a run-heavy offense.
Tommy's right. 800 on the Niznos.
Right.
3 touchdowns, 800 on 74 receptions. So it wasn't bad. 71.8 reception percentage. To play devil's advocate, what you just said is why people hate to pick. Keon Coleman. What do you do at Keon as a number 2 if this guy's running to be a number 2? Now, mind you, we did just bring in a guy last year that was supposed to be a number 1 for $9 million. So that tells you the money don't tell you anything. So I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that at all.
That basically means that whatever Shakir got doesn't make him the number 1 either.
Right. We just like him a lot.
That's insane. That's insane. Okay, and then D, what's going on? Because you in the chat, you already know what the deal is. I just told Spaghetti Steve, you part of the family now. It's over with. You might as well get used to it.
Tell him about it again, boss.
Just embrace us. Says, I don't understand why the Bills didn't take a chance on Slayton instead of Palmer. Slayton is more proven than Palmer. True, but Slayton is also he's got a bigger injury history than Palmer has had, and Slayton is a bit older. I think Slayton is right around 28, 29 years old, somewhere around there.
What did he go for?
I have it somewhere.
I can. I'm not used to his laptop, so I'll navigate.
You didn't get your spreadsheets on there yet?
Oh, I got it. I got the sheets. But anyway, no, I okay, who is this? D? Okay, D, let me ask you a question. How do you know they didn't try to get Darius Slayton?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think Darius Slayton is such a commodity into which, it'd be tough to get him.
But what do they say? He got signed, I think, right? I believe he did.
I'm about to find out right now.
And what do they say? We have to come up with a number that's fair for them and fair for us. And that number wasn't fair for us. So they said, bye-bye.
Okay, so Darius Slayton. I'm on Spotrac right now, so I don't even think, let me see.
I'm just going to Google it. Anybody want to help out in the comments?
Yeah, that'd be great. We're supposed to have all this information, but
I didn't know. I wasn't prepared for Darius Slayton.
Let me see here.
6 million, so 12 million. So he got, so maybe they didn't. So 12 million over 2 years. So maybe they
I said the same thing. Yo, Spaghetti Steve, you get out of my pockets, bro.
What do you say? I don't see it.
He said he reminds me of a younger Amari Cooper, Josh Palmer. That's the same thing I said. It's exactly the way he runs routes. His hands are not the best, but he makes big plays. Like he's a younger, lesser talented Amari Cooper. That's what I see, because he's not as fast as Amari Cooper was.
No, he's a 4.5. Amari was like 4.45 or something like that. Right. Can we? I just want to say, Kevin Hart, thank you.
What?
Because that was part of my culture thing. I wanted to poo-poo all over culture with Pickens.
Oh,
why can we not trade for Pickens? They're going to trade this guy. They're going to trade him. He's on a rookie deal. You don't want to give him 1 year to try?
No.
Why?
Because he is what everybody thought Stephon Diggs was, which is a true, like, I got to be the guy in the locker room.
But the culture.
No, you can't interrupt it. See that
the culture.
Now we get into the real crux of the matter, because when you look at this culture and the Bills talk about how strong it is, I think you're right. And as far as where you were starting to go with your point, why can't the Bills survive a guy like George Pickens? Why is that? I mean, I'm really asking. Like, dude,
honestly, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if we want to win? Mm-hmm. This guy, is he not a number 1 receiver?
I think he is. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I'm not saying you're not being sarcastic. I'm sorry. I definitely. But I was thinking this. I thought about this before today when everybody started talking about Pickens getting traded with DK Metcalf. Everybody, they're gonna. When are the Bills gonna say, you know what? It's time to get one of them little bleep holes and see if we can. This is the perfect time. He's got 1 more year on his contract.
Mm-hmm.
If he sucks, or if he's a sickness in the locker room, he's out. No harm, no foul. If he doesn't play, he don't play. You still got these other dudes.
Yeah.
You lose nothing. But this would really be a testament to what is his standing in the locker room? Is Deion Dawkins going to check this dude when he tried to step to Josh? Say, Josh, yo, what you want, bro? And that's the thing I want guys here, maybe not Pickens' level of head case, but I would definitely take that 1 year shot at him. I would 100% take a 1 year. It's on a rookie deal. This isn't 12, 13, 14 mil. This is a rookie deal.
Right.
So I mean, if he's terrible, gotta go. But I mean, what's the worst? What's the best guy? He said, I hated Pittsburgh. I didn't like Russell Wilson. Tomlin was a joke. I'm cool here. I'm not that cool, but I'm cool enough where I can actually block for people and not just jog off the field in mid-play.
Yeah. Yeah. Kato, what's going on? I ain't seen you in what, a couple of weeks, it feels like. But Kato says we gotta give this culture up. I mean, that's just, we gotta give it up. We gotta give it up. Laura says, I had Pickens on fantasy. Great player. Yes. Powder keg. Yes. I see a headache, unfortunately. Okay. If headaches were such a big deal, nobody would go to work with them. I mean, I'm spitting right now. I'm spitting like,
you don't mean to preach today.
I'm spitting right now. Like, if headaches were such a big deal, people would not go to work with them. Like, I can deal with a headache. I can still get the job done with the headache, right? Especially if the headache is going to give me 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns a season. Like, you don't think George Pickens can do that?
I know he could.
That's the crazy part. My pop is on the show. What's going on? He says, is getting a second tier receiver the move that gets the Bills past the AFC Championship game? You had to go there. Okay,
so I need some context.
So this is related to Josh Palmer, because Josh Palmer.
I'm like Pickens ain't second tier, is he? No.
But so this is part of the culture conversation that we were having, and this is why I think some people have such an issue with Josh Palmer, is that he's not a Chris Godwin. He's not some of these other names out here that, are known commodities that as soon as they get in the building, they are changing the way you win on offense. Right. And when we're talking about having a franchise quarterback, what are one of the first things that an organization will say as soon as they know they have their franchise guy? The first thing they say is, we got to put pieces around him. Right. We have to make his job easy now. He's come in. He's shown us he can do it. The Texans did it with CJ Stroud. The Green Bay Packers did it with Jordan Love. Who else? When Joe Burrow first came in, they got him pieces. Right. They gave him 2 number 1 receivers. So we've seen other franchises all over the NFL see that they have a franchise talent at quarterback and start to put pieces around on offense that make his job easier, whether it be getting a great offensive line that Dak Prescott got when he first got drafted there, and he showed them he could be a franchise quarterback. They went and got him a running back and an offensive line, and Dak didn't have to do much, and he could still win 10 games a season.
Yeah.
Right? But instead, this Buffalo Bills team has said, we got Josh Allen. Like, who cares about anything else? We freaking got Josh. You know what it's like? It's like they never expected to have this level of success. That's what it's like. Mm-hmm. Like, when for somebody, and I'll use myself as an example. Like, I'm not the best person in the world with money, right? But if I was to win $50 million in the lotto tomorrow, like, I'd have to sit for a minute and really figure out, all the moves that I'm going to make with $50 million. Right. There's people out there that as soon as they get, $2,000, they go out and just spend it right away because they don't understand how to use it, how to work with it, how to build around it. Right. Mm-hmm. So when you look at the way that this team has approached having Josh Allen, what have they really done to add to him in terms of having real playmakers around him, aside from a James Cook and a Stephon Diggs?
No, nothing. I mean, the thing is that Khalil Shakir was something that I don't want to say they got lucky with, because he's actually not playing like he played in college. He played more downfield in college. He was more of a high point guy. I thought he was going to be the heir apparent to Steph Diggs, but they're not using him in that fashion. I think Khalil Shakir could be an outside guy. but they don't want to move Keon Coleman inside, and we're not going to put Josh Palmer on the other side. Well, I guess we could, but I wouldn't want to do that. So we're kind of hamstrung into our own restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
The players aren't restricted. Well, most of the players aren't restricted on offense, we'll say. Defense, different story. But on offense, we're looking at James Cook who can catch the ball. Who you got Ray Davis who can catch the ball. Ty Johnson can catch the ball. They're not asked to catch the ball. Well, Ty Johnson is, but he's not asked to run as much.
Yeah.
But he's a running back. You go to the tight ends. Dawson Knox is a downfield threat who's asked to block. Dalton Kincaid is an intermediate threat who's asked to run seams. I mean, does this sound right to you yet? Is anybody picking up what I'm putting down? These guys are asked to do stuff they're not supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
And it didn't get them here. And then when they can't do it, people are like, well, why? He's a bust. No, he's not a bust. You didn't know what your system was.
Kyer
Elam. You didn't know what your system was.
Yeah.
Ed Oliver, luckily enough that he kind of persevered. But Ed Oliver could be a whole bunch better. A whole bunch better.
Jim Monis straight told people. Another thing, like my whole conversation with Tommy is starting to come up in this show now.
Tommy, come on over.
Right. But yeah, the thought of Ed Oliver, like Jim Monis on the Tyler Dunn report, not Tyler Dunn report, but whatever it showed, the TD Go Long, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Tyler Dunn's podcast, Jim Monis was he specifically said like the Bills looked at Ed Oliver and they saw Aaron Donald. They thought they were getting Aaron Donald when they drafted Ed Oliver. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm going to keep bringing this up because this is really what the issue is for the way the Bills have drafted and signed players. What Jim Monis said when he worked for the Saints and he was a scout for the Saints, Sean Payton, Super Bowl winning head coach, told the scouts, you cannot make a living by drafting the exception.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you find the exception, great. That should be considered to be icing on the cake or the cherry on top. One of the two. But it should not be the foundation of your cake. It should not be the foundation of how you build a franchise. If you are expecting to go in every single year and sign in free agency and draft all these exceptions, and when I say exceptions, I mean the blue chip playmakers that also have a great character and have never been in trouble, and the guys that would never come in and create any issues in the locker room or talk back to a coach or have an opinion when it comes to the way that a team is doing something, then you are absolutely expecting the exception with every single player move you make.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the way this team has been making a living. And the reason they've been able to do that is thumbnail Josh Allen.
Nope. Ramon, welcome. I like your comment. I love it. Did you read it?
Let's read it
Can
right
I read
now.
it?
No, go ahead.
Okay, Ramon from X. Yes, I have just seen my first comment from X.
Yeah, love it.
I was told to get excited over a mid-FA wide receiver last year with Curtis Samuel. For whatever reason, people think Josh will turn everyone into an all-pro wide receiver. It didn't work with Samuel, and I don't see it working with Palmer. Go get a stud that produces despite a quarterback, not in the hopes of a quarterback. Damn it. I love it. Bravo.
Yeah. I want to give a quick shout out to Columbus Bully. New member of the Triple P Inner Circle. That is our membership program. If you have not checked that out yet, a lot of good stuff in there. Please go check out the membership program. We are steady trying to build that thing out so that we can continue to give you guys more and more content and better content that fits your needs. All right. So make sure you go check that out. That is on our YouTube channel. It's at the Post Podium Podcast. You can check us out over there anytime you like. There's plenty of content there. We got videos, recorded videos. We got film review stuff that we've done during the season. I'm sure you would you would have a good time checking us out there. But thank you, Columbus Bully, for that. Salvi says they believe Samuel will be him this year. They do. Do you think maybe that plays into why Josh Palmer was the move? You think maybe they just bring Josh Palmer in as some form of competition for Curtis Samuel, but they fully expect Curtis Samuel to step outside and play outside, which he's done plenty of in the league.
No, honestly, I believe that this is a move to light a fire Keon for some weird reason.
What?
Yeah, I do. I mean, if it was for Curtis Samuel, I think it would be a guy that'd be more like Curtis Samuel. In the speed, the gameplay. I think, like you said earlier,
okay.
With regards to Keon Coleman to Josh Palmer, what they can do, it's a number two. I know I said I didn't really subscribe to it, but the more I thought about it, maybe he is brought in to be a Mac Hollins kind of player, He's not a special teams player like Mac Hollins, and I don't think he's going to lead the team in touchdowns. At least I hope he doesn't lead the team in touchdowns like Mac did last year. But I do think that he's going to be somebody that's brought in to kind of compete with Keon for that number 2 spot. Which to me, you did all this work, you called him the X, you did that. So it's kind of egregious. It's kind of a slap in the face. I didn't get a chance to watch the Keon Coleman on the Carmelo Anthony show.
Okay,
but he was candid. I'm going to watch it after this. If anybody saw it, please comment and put in the comments how you felt about it. But I know he was talking about the planes. He was talking about it was something else he was talking about. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a good watch. I hope it's a Deion Dawkins shirt off. Deion Dawkins. What that means, guys, for you don't know, don't cancel me. What that means is when Deion Dawkins has a shirt on, he's being professional. He's being, yes, the spokesperson for the Bills.
No, you did the right impression.
Yeah, the spokesperson for the Bills. But when I have my shirt off, yo, you know what I'm saying? Hey, like I said, yo, New York, come see me. Please come see me. I'm waiting for you guys. That's the difference.
There is a major difference. So we're talking about the dichotomy of Deion Dawkins. He's two different people with in each situation. So and if you don't believe us, just go watch the interviews. If he's doing an interview with Colin Cowherd, very different way in the way he speaks. But if he's doing his own podcast or something like that, he just a different cat. He just sounds different. Mark Cardinal, he says Curtis must not have been healthy or something last year. I've watched his tape and he didn't look like the same guy last year from previous years. I have some faith he will step up this year. So I did think about that. And I actually do like the idea of the Bills opening up the competition for Curtis Samuel to move outside and compete with Josh Palmer for that I guess, quasi-X position, so to speak, because I don't even know if they're going to continue on with this, everybody eats sort of deal. But here's what I would really enjoy if Curtis Samuel did win that spot. We now have speed on the outside. And that was the one thing that we went in, this offseason saying the Bills need speed. Well, if we give Curtis Samuel a shot like I was crying for last year, now we've got speed. Now we've got a guy that forces the safeties to stay back. You can't creep up in the run game. They can't just cover the seams like they want to. They have to respect the outside speed. And what that does to a defense is it now opens up the seams for a guy like Kincaid. Maybe he starts getting better looks on the inside. Maybe things open up for Shakir a little more than they did. And instead of 800 yards in a season and one of the best catch percentages in the league, maybe now he's a 1,300-yard receiver. Maybe now we can get that Wes Welker, Julian Edelman type of performance out of Khalil Shakir, which he's perfectly capable of recreating. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But a guy like Josh Palmer is probably not going to give you that on the outside.
Yeah, I agree a lot of what you're saying, but I think for us to unlock what Curtis Samuel was saying, who was it? Was it Mark said?
Yeah,
you got to have where's Mac? You got to have a Scary Terry. Got to have a Scary Terry, somebody like that, because that's where Curtis Samuel flourished. If you look at Curtis Samuel, I think is one of his best seasons. Terry McLaurin for 1,200 yards and 5 touchdowns on 77 receptions. So, I mean, you got to alleviate that, and I don't think anywhere Curtis Samuel has been where he was the number one guy, because he was with Terry in college.
Yeah,
which is not a slight on him. It's just everybody's not that number one alpha dog. He's that compliment of Keon Coleman was Mike Evans or something like that. But I just don't know what we can do with what we have unless they get creative. See, we don't have the kind of guys you can just line up anywhere and say, go beat them. We just don't have it.
Right.
Offensive line, pretty much, yes. But the rest of the team, no. That's just a sad fact.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's get to where we are right now with the Buffalo Bills, because we've locked up Khalil Shakir, we've locked up Terrell Bernard, we've locked up Groot. In terms of the defensive line, we know Groot's going to be there. We know Ed Oliver's going to be there. DQ is still under contract. Excuse me. And I think you said AJ Epinesa is the other guy on the other side there.
Mm-hmm.
What should the Bills be thinking in terms of defensive line from the standpoint of, how can we be okay? So here's why I'm asking. we know that corner is going to be a big deal for them, just in general, right? And I'm going to go ahead and assume that Asante Samuel Jr. is not going to be signed for, by us because we, quite frankly, we can't outbid anybody right now.
He's not even that good, is he?
He's all right.
He's okay.
He's all right. Yeah, I think in LA he was more hurt than he was on the field, and that's probably a big part of the reason why they let him go. But knowing, and I don't know him personally, but just knowing Jim Harbaugh's how he likes his players, I don't think Asante Samuel was as physical as he wanted, in a corner, for that defense, especially with the way he plays offense and all that. So, but I think here a guy like Asante Samuel would be okay because he is a guy that can do both man and zone pretty well. I would say Asante Samuel is quite possibly, and he was in college. He's a slightly better version of Christian Benford. So in the right defense, he would be pretty good. But again, the money dictates all that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, no bones. Didn't Josh and Kincaid have near the most off-target throws? They need to build some chemistry or something. No, I mean, I agree to a degree, but the rub on this is Kincaid is not a downfield threat. They're telling you guys that he's a downfield threat. But if you look at what he did when he played his first year in Buffalo, you look at his college career at Utah, he was never a downfield threat. He was intermediate, always and he ate people alive. That's what he does. So what they did was they took him out of his comfort zone and what he was good at. And we know Josh. I'm going to get burned for this, but Josh is not a good deep ball thrower. It just is. He's got a rocket arm, but it doesn't connect almost ever. Yeah. So what they need to do is figure out how to bring Kincaid home, bring him back inside where he can work, and what that's going to involve him learning what Keon Coleman learned last year. And that's when the play breaks down, find open space. Right. And as weird as it sounds, because a big Knox over there, let Knox run the seams. That's what he does. He's good at running those seams.
They don't want to let him run anything.
I know.
I've never understood this. Every single time the man gets the ball, he's putting a hand in somebody's face and somebody is getting pushed into the grass. Yeah. Like how like Derrick Henry is made a name off of doing stuff like that. Right. But this tight end only gets 2 passes a game.
And you would think by the way he plays, he's like 280 pounds, 270, like he's Scott Chandler. No offense. Roy, no offense, I'm sorry. But anyway, you would think,
my guy.
Everybody say Roy's like, that's my fella. But no, I think they need to understand that these guys are not that, and truth be told, Dawson Knox is actually faster than Dalton Kincaid. He's actually faster than him. So
he is. Yeah. Dalton Kincaid ran
like a 4.7. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Knox ran a 4.54.
Don't throw that guy the ball. Don't throw it to him.
He can block though.
Yeah, he's not a great route runner. He's not going to beat man coverage. Don't throw him the ball. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what we want to do. Steve says, I know we signed him, but trade Groot anyways. For what? Anything.
Wow. Well then,
13.5 is a good number for him. It's a great number for Groot, and I'm going to tell you why. When you look at everything else that exists in that contract and incentive wise, that is what you need a guy like that to have hanging over him, is an opportunity to get more if he can perform better. Right. When he had the security of knowing that he was the best pass rusher on the team, what has he done? I mean, over the last 4 years, he's been fairly consistent in slight, steady growth over the 4 years of his career. Right. And look, this brings me to the next thing that I wanted to get to on the show. Age ain't nothing but a number. Okay. Yes, I quoted the late, great Aaliyah.
Oh, it's not that. I mean, oh, no. Patriots signed Matt Collins to a 2-year deal.
Yes!
He's going to take the T elsewhere.
Yes! Yes! I'm about to cry. I don't gotta hear about this dude no more. He ain't gonna be haunting my dreams because my boys keep putting them in the chat.
Yo, pause.
He ain't gonna be in my life no more. I ain't gotta hear about this
pause.
dude.
I love it. He said push the button.
I love it. I'm not push what button? Hey, guess what? This is a new soundboard. I ain't got no AO. He's screaming through the glass. We're gonna add the AO. Don't worry, your mic will be set up next week.
Let's see if was something else I saw up there. Oh yeah, I want to address Lindsay. Guys that don't know Lindsay, she's one of the A1 day ones.
No doubt.
She definitely is one of the when we were getting 11 views, Lindsay was one of them.
Yo, for sure.
So yeah, I got it. She's back now. I gotta definitely let her know, welcome back.
Let's get it.
Yeah, he signed with the Ops, but are they even the Ops anymore?
No. Well, they will listen. Next year they absolutely will be. If there's a head coach that I trust to get that show together, it is Mike Vrabel. Seeing what he did with the Titans, he went in there with a plan. He got tough physical dudes. He was smart about the way that he built his offenses. He was really good at the way he designed defenses. It was always a hard time playing the Titans. Just go ask Josh Allen and his performance against the Titans every year, right? It was never great when Mike Vrabel was there. So I fully expect the Patriots to be good in the next 2 to 3 years, right? But I mean, that's not going to do nothing this year,
But see, the thing with you laughed at it, but the Bills are saying that same thing, but they're not thinking about what you said 2 or 3 years. They're like, oh, we still got them. We still got it. You can laugh at it. I can laugh at it, but they better not be.
Yeah, I guess. Laura says, I think you quoted R. Kelly because he wrote that trying to groom Aaliyah. Listen, I ain't trying to, don't get me involved in that. This show has no connection to R. Kelly or anything of the like. I said the late, great Aaliyah because she sang it. You the one that mentioned R. Kelly. That wasn't me.
Steve Lynn, all I got to say to you is how it tastes. How it tastes.
Oh, my God. The way that his personality, he like there's no way he would come in and be able to be a backup here.
He would be a backup.
The players would love him too much.
You're true.
Like they would love him too much. Like
Josh got a personality.
You cool, bro, but
you could play. But this dude funny as ever.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want Jameis in that. I want Jameis in that huddle, man. I don't know.
Wait, we signed a linebacker. Who?
Michael Hesht.
That's the linebacker.
If that's even how you say it. Look, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, it don't matter. It don't matter because Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard,
24 mil. We gave him 7 mil. We don't know who he is.
Huh?
We gave him 7. What is it? Nathan Heck. I know his Heck, but
3 years, 24. How much of that is guaranteed?
I'm about to look at. Well, we probably won't be able to see that yet.
Okay.
Why do we need a linebacker? What do you mean? We don't need anything else but linebacker. Linebacker University over here.
For what? I mean, special teams?
Yeah, we got rid of Mac Hollins, so why not?
Well, that's true. Look, don't be surprised if this is a guy that comes in and he's like the new who was the other linebacker that we had that was like the special teams captain and Matakevich?
Matakevich.
Yeah.
Tyler Matakevich.
Don't be surprised if this guy is the new Matak. I would not be surprised because I've not heard of this linebacker like at all. Right. And I don't know every single player in the NFL, but I know who all the pretty good, the decent, and the really good linebackers are in the league. This dude, I don't.
Jamal says just stand up outside linebacker. I mean, I want to look at him. I want to look, and if you guys want, I can even go back as far as to look at pro players. If you want me to do reviews on pro players, I'll do that too. Just let me know what you want me to do. But yeah, I have to look at this guy for sure. He got early access to the flea market. Yeah, when I Walden probably
came from the Rams. That's probably where I remember seeing that name. It was last year. Excuse me, when we played the Rams. But again, I mean, look, we know who our starters are.
Kev,
right?
You speaking to me. You speaking to me, Kev.
Yeah. Right, exactly. The Kev says 3 years, 24 million, and y'all want Cook to accept pennies. Yeah. That's kind of the point. Like, this guy is not going to be a starter. You got Terrell Bernard and Matt Milano. You still got Dorian Williams under contract. Like, where is Hecht going to, or Hecht, however you want to say his last name, where is he going to come in and play for 3 years, 24 million?
Well, Jamal, can you elaborate? Is he more like a Dorian Williams strong side, or is he a weak side like Matt Milano? Because are they trying to send a message that maybe Milano's not going to be here? Or are they trying to send a message that's saying that Dorian Williams is not good enough to play on the field, that we know that's a lie as well?
Yeah, but even if Matt Milano needed a message, I think he got it last year watching Dorian Williams perform.
I'm like him. I'm all pro.
Yeah,
I don't need no messages. I'm 30.
Like, but okay. So and no, Nico, we're not just making trades up. I think when we're looking at this contract, 3 years, 24 million is what, $8 million a year. And if we're saying $8 million a year,
right, about 5 guaranteed.
Right, exactly. So there's two sides to this contract that we have to make sure we pay attention to. 3 years, $24 million is not the full extent of the money he's going to get every year, right? On one side, you got he's going to make $5 million, not a big deal, right? On the other side, you got to understand the salary cap is going to boom from here over the next 3 years, right? And with that expectation in hand now.
Wait, what was the name?
Michael Hecht.
I'm sure Michael Hecht is a 6'4", 265-pound defensive tackle.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm showing he's a defensive tackle from Los Angeles Rams. That's why I was asked to make sure Michael Hecht, Hoechtcht, defensive tackle, supposedly 6'4", 267, but that would make more sense to be an outside linebacker.
Oh, wait! I think I had him in fantasy. Wow,
now that's egregious.
I think I did have this dude in fantasy.
How many guys got hurt before you picked him up?
Not a lot. He was pretty productive. He didn't start every game, but I think there was one guy on the defensive line for the Rams that was hurt, and he put up some good numbers in fantasy. Like when he played, he was productive. He's a good pass rusher. But again, I mean, when you got Ed Oliver, so this guy is probably coming in to serve as a backup to Ed Oliver.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And that okay, cool.
Laura almost got me there. I would have. Oh,
yeah. I was just about to say that. Yeah, I was just
Thanks, Laura.
Laura says Elam traded to Cincy for a 2-piece and a biscuit. If it ain't no coleslaw on that, I don't believe it.
I don't know, man. I can't believe it. What kind of biscuit? Popeyes or is it? I don't know.
Right. Oh, whoa. Tommy trying to start a whole nother tariff war over here. He said we have now signed 2 Canadians today. What that got to do with anything, man? What's that got to do with that? Don't be putting me in your business, bro. I don't want to start fights with nobody.
That's for your show.
Yeah, right.
We new to this, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Kev, I know I'm 290 and 267. I kind of laughed at that myself, but
6 sacks in 23 and 3 last year. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he was. I mean, he did, but it seems like he's an Ed Oliver. So go ahead, because I know you said something about defensive line. You want to talk about the scope of the defensive line, so I'll let you make your point, and Cook, we'll get to that later.
No. So I want to get to age.
Gotcha.
Right. So the age thing. One of the things you hear people talk about with Groot, because this is how I even got on age in general.
Okay.
Right.
I like where this is going. Okay.
The talk about, well, he got this deal and he's only 24 and, the sky's the limit from here. Or the talk about Keon Coleman. Well, I don't want you guys to hammer on Keon Coleman. He's only 19. He's only 20 years old. He's very young. Same thing for Benford when you get, he's a young player. You got to give him time. Same thing for Kyer Elam. Well, he's young. Well, then stop getting all these daggone young players in here if the process is going to be so long for these guys to become what they're supposed to be.
Like you said, the process, that fits right there. Process fits right there because it is only the process. Why is it that other teams can get 19, 20, 21-year-old players to be stars, but we can't? There's a process involved and it's broken. So, no, when you talk about Keon Coleman, guess what? We weren't banging on him. You were.
Exactly.
Mr. Honest and direct conversation. How about you telling what you want to work on, but not talking about your disappointment? We thought you weren't.
Yeah.
He disappointed you because you didn't watch his tape. Anybody here that watches college football can tell you Groot is what he was. We talked about it before he got drafted, and we said he didn't have not one sack he forced. Everything was a covered sack. So what do you think is going to happen in Buffalo with no cornerbacks? You lucky he got 8 to 8.5 sacks. You lucky.
Yeah. Roy says Hollins agreed to turn. Oh, okay, yeah, we saw that. Thank you, Roy. There was some other stuff I wanted to get to.
Yeah, while you looking at, somebody said Satan trade Kyer Elam for George Pickens head up. They won't take Kyer, but I bet they'll take DeMar Hamlin.
Wait, say that again.
I said they won't take Kyer, but I bet they'll take DeMar Hamlin.
Who will? Cincy?
No, the Steelers for Pickens. He's from there.
I can't see that.
He's from. It's a joke because he's from there and he wants to play there.
Good luck.
I think he will because
Okay.
Tomlin does. I think he will. For a trade. No, I'm just joking about that part, but I think he'll end up in Pittsburgh at some point.
Okay, so let's touch on this real quick. Heel turn merch. He says I'm good. I'm good with moving on from Milano. Funk Flex Bomb. what do you think about, like, what would you do with Matt Milano right now, just in general? Keep him, trade him?
No, I would move on.
You move on?
I move on.
For like, what do you think we can get for him?
Milano?
Yeah.
4th or 5th at best. At best, 4th or 5th.
All pro, some injury history. I can see that.
At best. And the thing I like about that is you got Leo Fascio back there. I'm not going to talk about Andreessen. He might be good, maybe not. I don't know. He's a special teams guy right now, but we're holding on to names right now. Milano hasn't been Milano in years. You know, we're in the twilight of last year's season. He kind of did okay, but from what we saw, oh, he's back. No, he's not back. Milano, he he's been off all season. Everybody else has been tenderized, and now he's out there doing the best he can on slick glass surfaces. So I would probably get rid of him and bring in another linebacker. A la Lilo Fascio, let him try it out, and maybe get another rookie somewhere.
Areola, what's going on?
I missed you.
Right. Areola says, "Oh, come on. You guys are the intellectuals in the community. You're way above this clickbait title stuff. Although I will admit I read it, got indescribably
and you clicked, and I missed you, Areola. I can't even say without laughing now.
To be clear, I've studied, copywriting and all that kind of stuff, and that goes into the titles. Like, clickbait is not a bad thing, but the reason I titled this episode the way I did is to just kind of get to the point that we talked about a little bit earlier, which is the Buffalo Bills have enjoyed the cushion of having Josh Allen bail them out of a lot of bad decisions. And so when I say why the Bills don't need talent, it's in the thumbnail. Like, this is why. Like, it's Josh Allen waving like, hi, right here. Like, this is why the Buffalo Bills don't need talent. Look at who's on their offense. Like, we've got 3 offensive linemen that we can look at and say, yeah, those guys are pretty good. They would start on another team, right? And truth be told, we're not even sure if anybody but Deion Dawkins on our offensive line would start on another team. We're not sure. Spencer Brown, maybe.
Probably, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
You know what I mean? But the Osiris Torrance, maybe.
Yeah, he has to show me a little more before you really can say you put a stamp on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So then you look at Keon Coleman. Maybe. I mean, who else would he have gone in and played for as a rookie?
See, Keon, that's a weird one for me, because I think Keon would have been nice with a bona fide number 1 across. That's the caveat for him, for me.
Okay.
And he might be the only one, because I think he was out there, and by virtue of who he was out there with, Mac Hollins and in preseason MVS and all those guys, they're like, okay, get him, because we know what they're doing and we're not worried about that. We don't know what he does. But if he had a Justin Jefferson over there or something like that, man, he'd be living life. And that's why I was excited when we got him in Steph Diggs, when then it wasn't Steph Diggs, and I was like, okay, whatever,
Right.
Because I saw a ease factor for him getting on the field.
Yeah.
But it just didn't happen for him. He got the raw deal right now. But he still has a chance to turn it around. He wasn't bad last year. He just wasn't what people thought he was going to be.
Right. Right. Which was that George Pickens-esque athletic outside receiver that's just jumping over dudes and making incredible. Like, he showed some of that stuff in college, but he's playing around lesser talent.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we'll see if now here's the deal. Players can get faster.
Mm-hmm.
They can. They can work on speed drills. There's a lot of different things, like, Demaris Johnson, he's coached and taught a lot of players. Like, he trained Rob Gronkowski and got him ready. You know what I'm saying? So I know that there are things that players can do to get faster and gain more agility, so to speak, and have more of a quicker twitch in their game. And hopefully he does some of that stuff. But we'll see. But I think the point that I was trying to get to was we've got a lot of players on our offense around Josh that other teams are not chomping at the bit to come pick away. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who's chomping at the bit to come and get Kincaid right now? Who's chomping at the bit to come and get Dawson Knox right now? Like, who else would have given Josh Palmer 3 years and $30 some odd $1 million? You know what I'm saying? Like how I would want to know how much competition Josh Palmer had for that much money. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm looking at the way the Bills have conducted business, they've conducted it as we can take our time. We can make sure that we like who we get. We can make sure we love who we draft, because no matter what happens, Josh has got our back. And at some point, somebody's got to pull the rug and just be like, look, I understand you love Josh, and I understand Josh was, the best thing that ever happened to Buffalo, but you drafted him 8 years ago. What have you done since? Well, we've been to 2 AFC championship games. Okay. Why didn't you win? Because I tell you right now, the defense is the reason we didn't win both. Right? One of the biggest games in NFL history in the 13 seconds game. Why didn't we win that game? Defense. Sadly, and I know I talked about this before, sadly, I actually don't want the Bills to go all in on defense this year. But I didn't want them to go all in on offense with Josh Palmer. You know what I'm saying? Again, no disrespect to Josh Palmer, but when I'm talking about going all in on one side of the team and which one was better, building around Josh is better than building anywhere else. Why not empower the one thing that's gotten you through this entire time? So, I look at it as you got to compliment Josh. You compliment Josh, and see, that's why I say defensive. You say offense, but I say we have to have something on the field when Josh isn't. This isn't Nikola Jokic. This isn't Shai Gilgeous where they play both sides of the field. Once, hockey, you play in just little shifts and you get off. And at some point, Josh got to get off the field. What happens then? Josh didn't have to score 30 points a game to win a game. James Cook shouldn't have to go for 18 touchdowns for us to be complete. Yeah. We shouldn't have to worry about Amari Cooper coming in for 800. Because who's going to make $860,000 who's going to come in this year and be what Amari Cooper was to the Bills in name, we'll say. We got to get lucky. So for me, I say we give Josh his wide receiver, maybe in the first or second round, and we go, as defense heavy, because the offensive line is a joke this year. Yeah. It's a joke. So we'll mill it in this year. We won't take that guy. We'll take a quarterback, or something else. But even take a running back. I don't care, because if you don't get Ty Johnson back, which I'm expecting somebody to say Ty Johnson, he's gone somewhere. I'm expecting it to pop up at some point. And I'm not interested in giving Frank Gore the keys to the Honda. Okay. No.
So, I really do want to give Josh some weapons, but I do want to shore up that defense, because that defense, when Josh is on the field, can't lay an egg. Every time Josh gets on the field, he shouldn't see it go up by 7 points. Right. When I was here before, it was 21. Now it's at 28. Now it's 35. Every time I scored, they scored. It shouldn't be that way. I should be able to curb stomp people. We want to see a curb stomp, and you got mad about it. I remember that. And I think the defense is a side that needs to provide the stomping for the curb. The offense has done their part. Whether it's Josh, whether it's James, it's been a multi-headed monster for the past 18, 19 weeks we've seen the Bills play.
I think the problem is, though, when you talk to people who know football, they will tell you this is not a defensive scheme that is going to give you curb stompings. Yep. It's not a scheme that's designed to shut people down. It's just not.
Yep.
When you look at the way that Sean has played and coached defense the entire time he's been here, it's been, we will wait for you to make a mistake until you get into the red zone and you have no space, and then we want you to kick a field goal. We'd rather kick field goals and then go down and score touchdowns, and then eventually get so far ahead of you that we could just pin our ears back and just rush, and the rest of the game is easy.
Yep.
How many games have the Buffalo Bills had like that in the entire time that we've been watching this Sean McDermott era?
On purpose, where they forced it?
Yeah.
Not many.
Exactly. We're talking about 9 years worth of content that Sean McDermott has put out there right now. And in all of it, we've seen more of those, high scoring games go the opposite way than we have seen go the Bills way.
Yep.
Like I remember watching us lose to New Orleans here at home with them running down our throats the entire game. There's been too many times like that against teams that have no business beating us in that way, and they just destroy us. And unfortunately, more of it happens in the playoffs than anywhere else. So for me, I wanted to get to this comment from Roy. He said the Bills did compliment Josh with $330 million. No. And I know you were joking, but I'm kind of kidnapping that point to mold it into a point that I wanted to make, which is for $330 million and no Super Bowl win, you better be expecting to put some real stuff around them.
At least let them have fun. Let us have fun. Let them have fun. I would be fine with a team of ball hawks on defense, a team that gets to the quarterback, that makes other quarterbacks' lives tough, and still not win the Super Bowl. I'd be fine with the evolution of what we've seen the last 9 years, the iterations that we've seen of soft cover. That's why when you talk about Santi Samuel Jr., can he press zone? We don't know. You said he's kind of a finesse guy. That's something that they want. But looking at the draft class coming up, which gives me a little angst, is all the cornerbacks that we can look at are man covers. Mm-hmm. They're good at it, but they're man covers. So do the Bills change their philosophy? No. Then you have a whole bunch of Kyer Elams, and we're talking about why they draft him. No, you guys just don't want to. You don't want to be flexible. You don't want to change with the times. Yeah, and that's the problem here.
Yeah. Look, I mean, there's always the hope that the Bills, money wise, they decide to really go for it and draft Will Johnson or something like that. You know what I mean? It just get a real shutdown dude. But
yeah, he's a good zone corner. So I mean, you have no prayer of it, but
right. We were just looking at it today. I was talking to Damaris, like I can't see Will Johnson going past 9.
I can see past 9, but I can't see anybody giving up what we need to get to him.
Well, okay, so let's touch on that real quick. I just wanted, because I want to get to a bunch of these comments too. Mm-hmm. But when we're looking at getting into the position that we would need to be in for Will Johnson, mm-hmm. right? The reason I say 9 is I'm looking at teams that need a corner right now. The Saints, the Jets, the Jaguars, and the Giants all need corners. Now the Giants are at 3, the Jaguars are at 5, the Jets are at 7, I think, and the Saints are at 9. Right? So when I'm looking at who's going to be available, and the reason I want to ask you this is because you actually know more of the players' value that in the draft in the top 10, mm-hmm. right? So realistically, I'm thinking the quarterbacks are going to go 1 and 2, right? Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. What do you think about that?
2 and maybe 3.
So you think Carter's going to go first?
I think Abdul Carter probably will go first.
Okay, so Carter goes first. Who do you think goes after that?
Cam Ward.
Cam Ward, mm-hmm. and who's at number 2?
Number 2 is, who is that? No, I have to look up because I don't know the draft order. All right. So we got Cleveland number 2. Okay. So we got Cleveland number 2. We got the Giants. The Giants are now talking about maybe getting Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I don't think the Browns are going to draft a quite so the Browns just they traded for Kenny Pickett. Mm-hmm. They traded away DTR to the Eagles to get him. Mm-hmm. So they now have Deshaun Watson and Kenny Pickett as their quarterbacks. I don't think they're going to draft a dude.
I think they might, because Deshaun Watson they just can't get up from under that contract, and Kenny Pickett is not a starter. I don't think they want to be a starter.
Well, they restructured Watson, but I like you said, I still don't think they can get out from the contract without.
If I don't think Kenny Pickett changes anything, if it's anything, it's going to be Deshaun Watson that they're like, okay, let's give him another shot again.
Okay.
Kenny Pickett to me is just a backup.
Which again, to me, that still means they're not gonna draft a quarterback. I mean, maybe. I mean, we did see Atlanta draft a quarterback, even though they just signed Kirk Cousins.
It's money,
yeah, right? So it's definitely possible, but I think that does push back the quarterbacks, right? So
you're looking at best.
So let's say this: who else could Cleveland get? Because they need an edge rusher, they need an offensive tackle, a wide receiver, and a running back. At second overall,
they could. Let's see. They could go. They could go. I don't see him going. I don't see him going Travis though. I don't see him going Travis. There's no tackle that you want to take at that point in time. Wide receiver, the best on the board is Travis.
You don't think Travis can go as a wide receiver there?
I do. I just don't think they're going to take him there.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
They might trade out then. I have Travis going on to the Patriots.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'd be Travis there, and then you're looking at what?
So the Giants are going to get who? Shador Sanders?
I hope.
Okay.
I would love. Well, no, I used to like the Giants. I would love that though.
Okay. So I mean, let's just plug them in there.
What does this talk about? What does this talk about? Aaron Rodgers to the Giants though.
Well, I mean, there were rumors about Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers, but that's let's just say it's way more likely that Russell Wilson ends up back in Pittsburgh than Aaron Rodgers. I mean, based on what I now know, I would put all my money on Russell Wilson going to the Steelers.
Russell Wilson to the Steelers?
Russell Wilson to the Steelers.
So Aaron Rodgers to the Giants.
Aaron Rodgers to the Giants.
That'd be crazy.
I mean, I think Brian Daboll would take it.
Yo, they would get into a fist fight. I'd be around for it though. I would be around for it.
But Daboll's one of those guys that can take it.
That's what he gonna sock him out.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers can't take it.
Well, so this is a different era for Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the era where Aaron Rodgers isn't going to a team saying, "I want to play in my offense and the way I want to do things," and blah blah blah. Like you're an actual free agent, dude. Nobody wants you that bad right now, where they're just willing to give you the keys to the castle. So if he goes to New York and plays for the Giants, Daboll's gonna have control. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. It's just not gonna be an easy transition. Yeah. I can see him.
You see him slapping each other.
I can see him slapping him up. What were you thinking?
Yeah.
So I mean, let's see. Who do we say needed to tackle? I'll pull my notes up. So
well, I'm more so looking at where Will Johnson.
No, but that impedes Will Johnson because where did we see who needed a tackle? Was it?
Cleveland needed a tackle.
Okay, so I can see them going quarterback. Okay, I can see them going quarterback or going for Will Campbell from LSU to tackle.
Okay,
so that's why I asked that, and that would bump Travis down if Shador goes to 5, I think, to Jacksonville.
Okay,
and then the Raiders.
Jacksonville's number one need is corner, though.
Yeah, I can see Travis Hunter going there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So Travis Hunter to Jacksonville.
The Raiders, I could.
They need a corner.
I don't think they're going to take it. I think they might try to go Ashton Genty, or because they're going to try to get some firepower. I think with Geno Smith there. Though.
Okay.
Then the Jets, they're probably going to do something with defensive line somewhere.
Okay.
Who else? Who do we have next? Carolina.
They just gave J.C. Horn a big contract, so
yeah, they're going edge. They're going edge. I think. I don't see what else they're going to do.
Yep. So it would have to be the same. The Saints don't have a corner right now. Paulson Adebo signed with the Giants, and that was the best corner they had. Marshawn Lattimore got traded to the Commanders.
They could go wide receiver.
Who's available?
Ted McMillan or Marcus Golden or Matthew Golden. Ted McMillan, Marcus Golden.
Okay, I mean.
They could.
They restructured Derek Carr to keep him there. He's getting most of his money next year. Of that $40 million, he's getting most of it next year.
Yeah, Ted 6'5", 230, runs a 4.5. He's like Keon Coleman kind of ish, but he's a better, more polished wide receiver. Not a great route runner, but he would give you a target quickly. He has a way of getting open, intermediate, and short and long. So I could see him doing that.
Okay.
Chicago, they're not doing anything. They like that. They like that fool over there. I was waving at the crowd when they scored a touchdown on them. Actually, Mimbu. I forgot about Armand Mimbu, the tackle. He could go. He's going to go somewhere in the top 15. So, what does San Francisco need?
They need corner, defensive tackle, edge, linebacker, guard. They could definitely take a corner.
They could take a corner. I've seen Will Johnson go to San Francisco before.
Really?
I have seen him go to Atlanta, San Francisco, Tampa. I have seen him go 9.
Atlanta's at 15. Where's Tampa? Tampa's 19.
Yeah, I've seen him drop to 20.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yes, I have.
Man. I can't imagine him dropping that low. I can't imagine dropping.
No, if you went to 20, tell us how bad you would feel, how mad you would be when you could say, you know what?
I might have to do a show immediately after, just to blow off some steam.
I'll be at work. I can't do it. I know. Press play. But no, I think that'd be tough. That to not trade up and get a guy. I mean, because you're talking about a defensive tackle class that I'm really eyeing the guy that was on your thumbnail that nobody even knew who he was. Because I did the review on him and they were like, "Who's this guy?" The guy that Aaron was put on the thumbnail last time, Bob.
I'll take him too. Yeah,
I mean him or Jordan Phillips. I could take it as a one take. Those are later picks. So I'm doing a roundabout way of saying there's no reason that you can't trade up and get a cornerback up there at 20 or so.
Yeah. I can see it. Derek, welcome to the show. Says our defense was average at best. We can't count on them creating turnovers like that again. That is extremely rare.
Mm-hmm.
That is extremely rare. Lynn says, in my honest opinion, Buffalo's biggest need is defensive tackle. What free agents are available? Well,
Lynn? Okay, go ahead. You do that side.
I'm glad you asked.
You do that side. I'm gonna do this side. I'm gonna do the right side. You do that side.
All right, that'll work. That'll work. For guys that haven't signed yet, that's gonna kind of be tough because I don't think Spotrac is I don't think they update their stuff as often. But
I do have a list of guys from
that haven't
PFF.
been signed.
I have a list of Give me 1 second. It's from PFF. I actually found it before I came in. So.
Oh no, they do. They do.
Okay.
Yep, they have guys who've been signed already. So Milton Williams got signed, Javon Kinlaw, Grady Jarrett. I think he
just got cut. Did he get signed yet?
No, he got immediately. Yeah, he went to Chicago.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, Tadero Slayton went to Cincinnati. Roy Robertson Harris went to the Giants. Sebastian Joseph went to Tennessee, and Sheldon Rankins went to Houston. So Raekwon Davis of Indy is still available. Jerry Tillery played with Minnesota. Lecky Fotu, younger guy, 26 and a half, played for the Jets. Levi Onwuzurike, more of a pass rusher from what I understand. Played with Detroit last year. He's 27. I'm trying to look at some of the younger guys, you know what I mean? But there aren't any, not very many one techs on here that are not 35. Like John Jenkins is 35. He's definitely a one tech. Jonathan Hankins, more of a one tech. He's 32. Derek Nottie, he's more of a tweener. He's 28. I mean, there's just not a lot of great names for the one tech position that are on this list that are of a decent age and worth investing in. I mean, you look, from my money, honestly, the draft is where you want to go for a defensive tackle.
There you
anyway.
go. There you go.
From everything that I've seen and from what you've been saying on the show, that's where you want to go for a one tech defense, big monster defensive tackle.
Yep. And the best part about that is it's not the first round at all. You're talking about third, fourth, fifth round guys easily.
I'm really trying to make my voice as deep as yours. Let me see if I got this effect.
You should do that. There you go. Oh,
just the whole time.
That's scary. Okay, Saw. I like to play a game.
So I think pass rushers. Let me look at the pass rushers that are left because I know you told me Josh Sweat is gone.
Yep, he's gone.
Poona Ford is gone.
Khalil Mack's gone.
Derek Barnett.
You got Trey Henderson. You got to trade for.
DeMarcus Lawrence is still available.
What about Malcolm Kuntz?
Malcolm Kuntz got signed.
Are you serious?
He went back with Vegas.
Okay, he went back. All right.
Yeah. Larry Ogunjobi's 30. Chase Young is still out there.
No.
Chase Young is still out there.
No.
We could have two Greg Rousseaus in here.
You definitely could. Two for the price of one, not price of one.
Buddy. Yeah, buddy. Charles Amenahu from the Chiefs.
I saw that name. 27. Yeah. I mean, what is it? He's another Rousseau, isn't he? He's a run stuffer, isn't he?
I would say he's like Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they play him inside and out when he was with KC.
See, my thing is this: I would be fine with having Landon Jackson or Charles Omenihu or somebody like that. Landon Jackson in the draft, by the way, a guy that everybody likes from Arkansas.
Mhm.
He's about 6'7", 260. I think he's Rousseau. If you don't have a Rousseau, I said in the last show. But if you went to a 4-3 where you could be creative and blitz Dorian Williams, you blitz Terrell Bernard at different times, stuff like that, that's where you would get your interesting pass rush. And I'd be fine with that. But you got to have a front four the whole point, because you can't have little guys like Bernard and Ulafashios and even Dorian Williams, Matt Milano for sure, if he's going to be on the team on the field. You can't let them get dirty out there. You got to let them roam freely because that's their job.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Azeez Ojulari?
I love Azeez.
Really?
I wanted him out of Indiana.
So he's still available.
I saw.
Market value is about $7.6 million a year.
I would sign Azeez.
Okay.
I would sign Azeez. The reason why is because of what you just said. Now that I got Rousseau right now is my cornerstone. I mean, if it makes your stomach hurt, it is what it is. But he's right now is your cornerstone defensive player. And in order to make him better, you get CJ West or Deion Walker or I wouldn't say Walter Nolan or anybody like that just yet, because that's a little higher than I want to go for a D tackle. But what you want to do is you want to make it so that Ed Oliver can eat,
right?
And you want to make it so that a rookie over there can eat. And so I think the best thing you can do right now, if you go ahead and get another player who can rush like Azeez Ojulari, because he's a I want to say he's a converted linebacker. I would have loved to have him with Von Miller to work with when he was first coming into his own in New York.
Yeah. Because he's definitely a 2-point guy.
Yeah, he's a 2-point stance guy. He's a smaller guy, but not small, but smaller. And yeah. I think that was something that Vaughn, I really want him to work with the rookie and Solomon on. Yeah. But not that he's gone for now, at least. Which would be dumb if they re-sign him. Like, why didn't you just lower the cap hit? Anyway, that'd just be stupid. That's a whole nother show. But yeah, I think Azeez Ojulari is definitely somebody that I would pick up for 7. You said 7.5, 7.4.
Yeah,
oh, please.
Basically 7.5.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah, and he's 24.
You do it.
Barely 25.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how the Bills love young players.
I do.
Wait, never mind.
Hit the button.
No. I was just about to say something about somebody that Laura mentioned earlier.
Oh yeah, no, you can't do that. We definitely be canceled then.
Right. Not going there. Triggs said, "You telling me we couldn't give DJ Reed the money Detroit gave him?"
I am not telling you that.
How much money did Reed get? Let me see. Let's see if they got it up here. Cornerback.
3 years, $48 million. So 16 per.
That's a bit high. That unfortunately 16 a year is a bit high for the Bills.
Yeah,
right
it's over 10 guaranteed this season. That's tough. And he's 28, 29 years old.
Yeah, that's a bit tough.
So I'm not telling you they couldn't, but I'm telling you they shouldn't.
So this I feel like I need to apologize to all the Bills Mafia now, because what the Bills are doing is almost exactly what we were talking about at the end of the season or not at the end of the season, but once all this Myles Garrett talk came up, we were both saying, like, look, just stay put, build through the draft, sign your young players. I wasn't for keeping Greg Rousseau because I thought he was going to, be making 19, 20 million or something like that, but 13.5, shoot, heck yeah, keep it. You know what I mean? I'll take that in a heartbeat. But now it seems like, the guys that they're going to get are, more, they're either going to be cost controlled through the draft, or they're going to be, those value contracts that you can get for those, B plus level players. You know what I'm saying? But again, what does that speak to? Hey, we can afford to get B plus because we got Josh Allen. Like, imagine having B plus players and signing all these guys, and we still had JP Lossman at quarterback. Like, this is my thought. I think when you look at where the Bills are now, and you look at where the Bills were during the drought, during the drought, what was our biggest issue?
Biggest issue? Quarterback.
We couldn't find a quarterback. Right? So you fast forward to now, what do we have? We got a quarterback, right? Before, during the drought, we had Takeo Spikes, London Fletcher. We had Nate Clements. We had Terrence McGee. We had Aaron Williams. We had Jarris Burt. We had all kind of dudes. We had Pat Williams, Ted Washington. We had Aaron Schobel. We had Mario Williams. We signed to bring him here. We had dogs.
Could you imagine those defenses with this offense?
We had dogs, bro. Yes. And that's kind of my point is when you look at those drought teams, they had dogs all around everywhere except at quarterback. We had Marshawn Lynch, bro, but we didn't have a quarterback.
Didn't have a quarterback.
And then you fast forward to now, we got a quarterback with no dogs.
Yeah.
We got one dog that's barking about 15 million. He can't get fed.
Yeah, feed the man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like, just the dichotomy of it all and what that says about the Buffalo Bills mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, I really hope at the end of this conversation, people are starting to ask themselves, how much longer do we let this go on for?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't care who you decide to fire. I don't care who you decide to trade out. I don't like, just show me some real change, right? I've kind of gone away from specifically fire McDermott and specifically fire Bean, but you either as an owner need to force those guys to change the mentality, or you need to bring somebody in who will. If you're not going to fire those guys and get somebody else in here that can completely change the program immediately and directly, then get somebody into a GM position, or get somebody into an ownership position, or get somebody into a president of football operations situation that can have some oversight over all this that's going on right now and say, nope, that pick is not good enough. That pick is not good enough. That pick is not good enough. You're not picking them. Get this guy. Who cares about his culture? Your whole locker room is full of culture guys. They can handle this one headache.
Pittsburgh, what's your area code?
Right, right. Like, what did I just see? Spin is saying Bills need a lot of things. Aren't we tired of that?
I don't think they need a lot of things. I don't think they know. I think.
I mean, well, yeah. Realistically, they don't. But when we're talking about blue chippers,
right? Yeah. And the way I look at this is when I say a lot of things. When I say I think we need a lot of things, it's something that I mean we can't fix in one off season. And I think they can fix this in an off season. Our offense is fine. Just add to it. But defensively, that's got to be fixed, and that can be fixed pretty easily with a different mind state, a different philosophy, and better players. And that's what I mean when I say I think we don't need a lot of pieces. We need a different mind state.
Yeah. Yeah. Sinke, I appreciate you. He says, y'all got to stream every day, man. In my opinion, y'all spot on every time. These other channels just mainstream. Love this show, guys.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We really do. I mean, even if you don't agree with everything we say or anything we say, watch, because I will listen and read your stuff. And I'm actually having a ball looking at all these comments flip through the screen.
No, this I told you, new setup is nice.
Yeah, I'm having a ball.
Yeah.
My laptop did just die though, just so you know.
Did it really?
Yeah, I have no laptop.
You ain't got the charger? Oh my God.
It's all right. It's all right. I can go. I can wing it. I can wing it.
We got 9 minutes anyway. We'll be out of here.
Oh, I can't. Oh man. Okay, go ahead.
What? You can't what?
I gotta do a promo, and I don't know the promo by heart.
Just make it up. You be all right.
Ooh, okay.
Improvisation is not Keyshawn's strong suit. Tommy says, "Damn, low blow."
Oh no, yeah, because what Sankey said.
Oh yeah.
He's not talking about you, Tommy. Don't worry.
No, yeah. I'm pretty sure he's not talking about.
I mean,
that.
he didn't hear that you like Devin Singletary yet. Don't worry about it.
That might change things.
That might do it a little bit. Ray misses his boxers. Sorry.
Yeah. We had to get rid of it. Look, so this room over here used to be the recording booth when I had my studio business, and this is where artists would go in and get they sing or they rap on, and I got the nice little lights going around the mood lights going around the crown mold in there.
There go Junie right there. Look at Junie.
You see him right there. They're going
other hand.
Bring it
There it is.
There you go. Now
Choo
they can see. So they can see him in there. But we'll have a camera in there next week. Y'all be able to see him close up. You know what I'm saying? Get a little bit of a view inside the producer.
If you are around for the episodes sponsored by The Cord, you have seen Tony before.
This new setup is the death of the cord.
Take that, Laura.
That's right. We have made sure to never have that issue again. Walter says, are you not saying by saying Greg Rousseau that you're betting on yourself to draft a player better than him? Group being our best drafted defensive line player is both commendable and an indictment against the team. That's a great point. That's a great point. It is like that is the Buffalo Bills in a nutshell, right? When you look at all these players that we've drafted, they are both the best and worst possible situation for the Bills to be in.
Yeah, I think I think Rousseau. Funny enough, Rousseau is what Keon Coleman is going through right now. Rousseau was just good enough when he was here.
Yes.
But what it is Rousseau was brought in to be a pass rusher, which he's not. Keon Coleman was brought in to be a number one, which he's not. However, what I can do that. You do that. What I can say is Rousseau, like I just said before, Walter, Rousseau is now the cornerstone for the defense until it's otherwise usurped. So, by bringing that defensive tackle that can let him do work, let Ed Oliver do work, you'll see huge dividends paid off if they just get that right. You might even see Javon Solomon, not Epinesa, please, not Epinesa. He can do the Von Miller thing and get 15 to 18 snaps a game like last year, but that's about it. I don't want nothing else.
Yeah. Steve says Groot was one of the worst defensive linemen drafted in that position in the draft. Look at the players drafted around him. Just like Oliver was the worst of the best defensive tackles, Coleman was the worst of the top wide receivers drafted.
Steve, I can tell you right now, Aramis can attest. When we drafted Rousseau, I was pissed because we didn't get Jason Oweh. That was my guy. I wanted Jason Oweh really bad. Can we trade for him, please? Because I heard those rumblings he wanted out. He put a cryptic tweet up.
Really?
Yeah, and I think he could be had for $10 million or whatever it is. And he's a pass rusher. He is a pass rusher. Now, what you got to know about him is he came from Penn State, and Penn State is not known for pass rushing prowess in college because of their scheme. They teach guys not to get off fast for whatever stupid reason. Yeah, they don't want you to get off the line fast. They say, I guess they want you to read first and then react. So
more run based.
Yeah. So that's why you see Chop Robinsons and Abdul Carters and people like what they did in college. You got to magnify that. You got to tweak. You got to turn it about one tick and a half or so, and that'll get you what you think about their Penn State guys. Not Aaron Maben, please. Yeah, I'm not saying boogie bash them. It's just not happening. I'm not doing that. I won't. You just made me say it, Kevin. I don't like it. So dirty inside.
Tommy got something for you right here.
Oh, Sookie.
Always hate no motor. Always hate no more. But this is one of the things. So me and Tommy were talking about the Josh Palmer thing, and I'm sorry. No, well, yeah, we were talking about the Josh Palmer thing, and let me see what you say about this too, because
sure.
What Tommy said that I kind of I wasn't offended and I didn't get mad when he said it, but he said Gabe Davis was a decent receiver.
Tommy said this.
So when I heard this, I was like, Gabe Davis feels like another Motor Singletary. Yeah. In terms of what the numbers say and how the numbers look decent, but when you watch the kid play, it's just like I just don't see what makes the guy great.
Gabe Davis was a big time boomer bust. Gabe Davis had huge games, and he had games where he disappeared for streaks, like not even snaps. He disappeared for games, weeks on end. And, he followed up a 10 reception, 180-yard game with 3 touchdowns with nothing for 4 weeks. That's why his average was what it was. He was on pace to be like Jamar Chase type stuff if you look at the right game. But then you look at him as a totality of a season. He's not that at all. So was he good? And he's another one of those Keon Coleman type deals where, but you have to have somebody of an elite caliber next to him. He's not going to do it himself. So how I feel about Gabe Davis, and Mel knows to playoff Gabe. But no, I to be fair, I do think that he's an NFL rosterable player, but I don't want to give him $13 million. I would give him 3 years to come back when he's like Matt Collins kind of salary, where it's like $2 or $3 million a season. That's it.
Okay. All right.
Okay, Roy, you've had enough.
Yeah, I wanted to get that up there. Where is it? I missed it.
There it is.
Here it is. Yeah. He hates on Kyle
Yes,
Williams. Hates on Scott Chandler.
Yes, I do.
I don't understand why. I've tried to talk him out of it, but he just ain't feeling it.
I know. Kyle, not so much. Kyle, I'll break it down real fast. Again, Roy, Kyle, I don't hate on as much as it's the lore of Kyle. Okay. You know, it's not Kyle. He was a good player. He embodied what Buffalo was, and I think that's kind of the problem. And Buffalo, when he was here, was bad, and he kind of embodied the Bills. So, you know, when you hear the drought Bills, you think of Kyle Williams, Fred Jackson, those kind of players, and it's not fair to them, but that's kind of what they were. So, you know, I don't hate on Kyle, but I just thought you could get better than Kyle.
All right. Today's close is going to be a little bit different because we don't have the music. I don't even think we started with the music at the beginning of the show. And we don't have
We did something.
Yeah.
I think it was our music. Yeah, it was our music.
I don't know. I may just play the intro music on the way out or something.
Okay, there we go.
All right, but I did want to get to this real quick because we did mention that there's a bidding war for Asante Samuel Jr., right? Asante Samuel Jr. is 25 years old. He's 25, 5 months and 7 days. He's got 4 years of experience out of Florida State, and he was drafted in the second round by the Chargers, right? Now, his average annual salary on Spotrac is listed at $11.5 million. Now, I don't imagine that that's where the bidding started, but I'm pretty sure it's going to end up somewhere around there for, you know, if this is a true bidding war, right? If you're the Bills, where do you stop? Are you okay with $11.5 million for a guy like that?
$11.5 million for a cornerback too, and you got to pay your other cornerback. That's tough. Well,
okay. So before you park on that, his comparisons are Jair Alexander, Charvarius Ward, Michael Carter II from the Jets, who's a good nickel corner. Dante Jackson, he's a pretty good corner.
As long as you don't say Dane Jackson, we're okay.
No, I don't think anybody's saying Dane Jackson at all this year. He got his shot. That's over with.
Oh, they want him back. They're talking about it. Joe Marino.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What would you do if they brought him back?
You know what I would do if they brought him back. You know what I would do. It would be, I'd be like, man, I had a whole bottle of Morton salt right here. I wouldn't even have a salt shaker. The whole Morton's would be sitting right there.
No, you got to go get a whole big bag of the snow melting ice.
I was about to say, I would go down to the pile and just drop the salt right here. Now you can't even eat it. It's not even edible. It's gonna be for you to defrost the streets.
Yeah, we're gonna start the show. King gonna be like,
yep.
Just pour the whole pile right on top of the desk.
Like, wait.
Yeah. Still pouring. Wait, there's more.
What are going to say? Shh, never pour.
Oh my gosh.
Nolan, I don't. Honestly, I don't.
Oh my gosh. Kev said they just paid a linebacker / defensive tackle $12 million.
How'd that sound? A linebacker / DT.
I've never heard of anything like that before.
Lorenzo Alexander, but after he was bad at the other things, they finally found a spot for him.
Oh my gosh. Tommy says, so did we get the value? What did he say? So did we get the value from Gabe Davis conversation? Oh, did we get the value from Gabe Davis is the question. I don't think so. And what he's saying is for the rookie contract that he had, did we get the value? If we're gonna say that we got value out of Gabe Davis, the only game of value that we got out of Gabe Davis was the 13 seconds game. That would be it.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Is that worth the 4th round pick and the $4 million he probably made?
He had a high ankle sprain, so he was hurt. You know, Steph Diggs missed no games. He always played with him. Nah.
right. Especially when you look at what we got in Shakir.
Yeah.
Like that's just I'm sorry. I can't. All right. So we gotta. Oh man, there's so many comments I want to get to. It's 8:01.
Okay, let me give you guys some background for that. Don't know who we are. I work 2 jobs, so I can't do a podcast every day. But if you guys keep liking, keep subscribing, our channel, what is it? The Buffalo. What is it? What is the network?
So this is the Buffalo Fan Base Network.
Buffalo Fan Base Network. Our channel. Keep subscribing. Maybe I can convince my girlfriend and my son to let me get out the house a little more often. I can't promise, but we can try it, right? We could try.
I'm trying. I'm doing the best I can so that we can, get enough support to be able to do this on a regular basis because I love doing this. But unfortunately, it's 8:02. We do got to get out of here. We will be back with you guys next Monday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm gonna have to blame you for this one.
What's that?
Because I think I had too much Reed's tea.
Oh, I mean, you got to use a facility.
I think I had too much Reed's tea because I gotta go to the bathroom. Not because I had an individual. I think I drank the whole case. Why? Because it was healthy. It was delicious. It was refreshing. Oh, it was refreshing. Oh, refreshing. Now, when I tell you, if you're gonna drink Reed's tea, do it responsibly. Don't do what I did. Head on over to Reed's tea.
You overdosed on Reed's tea.
I overdosed on Reed. I OD'd, brother. And let them know who sent you. Post Podium Podcast.
That's it. All right, appreciate that, Reed. That
Reed, wasn't Reed.
Yeah, well,
you guys see him lying.
Appreciate that improvisation.
This is it.
That's the best job. You're not supposed to tell him. You're not supposed to show him. Oh my God. All right. So look, we gotta get out of here. So I'm gonna make this as fast as possible. This is such an honor to be here doing this with you guys. You have no idea. We really appreciate doing this show. We really appreciate.
We just started 2 years ago.
With y'all. Yeah, absolutely.
Just started 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, 2 years in May.
Almost.
May 30th,
almost.
It'll be 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah. May 30th, it'll be 2 years.
And if you want to go watch that show. You'll see me looking real different.
We both do.
Oh, it was like. So let me see what this is. Oh God. Oh God!
Got all kind of background noise and all kind of weird stuff going on. This is back when we were recording the shows. We were recording 2.5, 3 hour shows.
Yeah.
And then I had to take them home and do all the video editing. It took me another 3 hours just to get that all set.
I don't know how.
Oh God! All right.
With these headphones, I feel like I'm on a radio show now.
All right. So listen, if you have not done so already, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that bell. Make that thing
ring-a-ling-a-ling
so that you can get notifications when we send notifications. Like we may do a couple of Friday shows. Like one. I know for sure during the draft.
Oh, for sure.
I know for sure during the draft we're going to do a Friday show. We talked about doing some live stuff during the draft, possibly doing a first round, live draft. We're going to sit here and as the draft picks come out, we'll talk about it and all that kind of stuff. That's been something that, some of you guys have asked for. We definitely want to be here to give you that. So we're going to do that. When it comes to Friday shows in terms of, see, this is tricky because we got like 12 new comments here and I want to read them. I'm so tempted. But when it comes to Friday shows, those are typically start back up in the preseason, right? So as soon as, training camp starts coming around and all that kind of stuff, we start hopping back on Friday shows. So that'll probably be here about late July, early August, right? But in the meantime, you definitely have Monday shows. And I mean, we'll do some membership stuff. You know what I mean? We've got a few members in there now. So now we have the ability to start getting some content and spending some time with our members and getting some extra stuff in there. So if you want to join into the membership, you can get some additional content in there. We're going to do, we're just going to do like live sessions where we just kind of shoot the breeze. You guys ask questions and we'll just have a conversation. There really won't be any structure surrounded around that. In the membership, there is the opportunity to schedule time to come on the show for a segment with us and just kind of hang out live on the show with us and do the back and forth banter and all that kind of stuff.
Not too, Tommy.
That's cold-blooded. Oh no, there it is. All right. So one of the other things we offer in the memberships is we play Madden from time to time. I play nowhere near as much as I used to, but I used to be pretty good at it. But I think now the idea is to just kind of hang out and just play the game and have some fun. And,
you now eat, sleep, and drink. Yeah. So yeah.
So all of that stuff is available in memberships on top of discounts on merch. As you can see, we got one of our hoodies up on the I think that would be your left hand side now, like bam, right there.
Oh, you want to do that? That's cool.
Yeah, right.
That's groovy. That's groovy.
So make sure you go check that out. The link for that is in the description. The link for Reed's Tea is definitely in the description. I got to get a link from my guy Rich, which is Hi Mike High Tech. That is the tech guy who built both of the computers that I currently use for everything that I do in graphic design, video editing, music production, audio engineering, all that kind of stuff. The dude is just a massive brain of knowledge when it comes to technology and helping you accomplish what you want to accomplish in whatever space.
And a massive McDermott fan.
And a massive McDermott fan. Yep. That's right. So definitely hit him up. Hi, Mike High Tech. His name is Rich. Tell him we here at Post Podium Podcast sent you. Other than that, that's all I got. You got anything else, bro?
Hey man, I'm just happy to be here.
Like every other Buffalo Bill now.
That's it. That's it.
Happy to be here. That's cool. All right. I'm sorry we had to end the show with that, but that's what we do here at Post Podium Podcast. So we thank y'all for watching. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
40 Keys.
And we are out of here. Y'all have a great night.
Peace.